Hello. Hello, beautiful. That I can get, yeah. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Frame by Frame, Nikon's very own podcast show here live at Exposure Festival in Sharjah City, where we deep dive into the heart of photography and videography, exploring tips and techniques, insights and stories of renowned photographers all around the globe. Join us as we uncover the magic behind the lens in every episode. Hi, I'm Elaine, your host for today's podcast, and a little bit about me. I'm a content creator in both video and photo, and also hair and makeup artist too, but hey, I'm not in the hot seat right now. Joining me is one of Dubai's most amazing photographer and cinematographer, Ashraf Karim. Ashraf, tell us about your exposure experience today and how are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself so the audience knows about you.
Okay, so thank you so much for inviting me today with the Nikon Middle East. I'm so happy to be here. So my name is Ashraf Karim. I'm from Morocco. Uh, yeah, I have been a photographer for almost 22 years using only Nikon gears.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
loyalty
that's
right there.
exactly because Nikon for me is a special, and I love to deal with camera gears because it's giving me a lot of facilities and it's flexible anymore. So and today I'm into cinematography. We do commercial videos, and also we do like cinema commercial for GCC and for Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, etc. My favorite camera, of course, is Nikon because it's giving me the best quality, and also uh, everything in the market you can find it's easy to mount it with the Nikon. So that's why this is my favorite gear, and yeah,
So before I get into video,
yeah.
Big Buzz is you are the first Arab photographer that does iris photography, like iris of the eye. Tell me more about that.
Okay, that was actually so funny because when you become a photographer and you understand your lenses and your materials, then you start creating something special to be different than others. Yes, I did that, alhamdulillah, and I achieved one very nice photography solution. It's to create a very nice artistic image for the eye.
Right.
It's too complicated to take a nice image, especially photo for the eye, because the eye itself it is complicated, because this is the second part in the body after the brain, complicated, and then to use the lighting and special effect, and also which camera you're going to use to take this. I mean the shadow and the shades inside the eye. So of course I've been using Z8.
But what lens would you be using to get that
Okay,
detail?
that's a good question. I have been trying a lot of lenses and even different gears. And finally, I found that the Micro 105 Nikon, actually this lens, you should use it. You need to use this lens and try it because honestly, the quality which I got from this lens, no other camera or lens gave it to me. It's a very nice details, especially the eye. If you zoom in into the eye and try to see the details of the iris, Nikon Z8 with the micro lens 105 will give you the best quality and then the sharpness and the details inside the eye.
Great.
Yep.
And I would say the same as you do video as well. Like, what is that specific camera feature in the Z8 that you love when you do video?
Look, when you talk about the quality and the Z8, of course, and the lens 105, it will give you the same quality of video because whenever we need to take like the depth of field for our shots and to create a nice environment look for our cinematography, the 105 is the best, and Z8 camera, of course, it's giving you the best quality. And for cinematographers, as you know, like if you wanna shoot or record a raw file with the 10-bit, of course, no camera can give you the 10-bit internal recording. And if you want to use like external screen, Of course, you can get up to 12 bits. When I'm talking about 12 bits, it means like the colors.
Correct.
We need enough colors to do montage and to do like color calibration, etc. So Z8 is amazing. I love this camera. I'm so happy to use it even for my inside my studios. I have actually a group of studios in Dubai, and I'm using only Nikon. And for our photography, we use also only Z8 with with the 24 by 70 2.8. Of course, the quality is super. You need to try it.
All right, great, great, great. But let's go back to basics. What
Okay.
would you consider the basic video technique with the Z8? Let's say Z8 is your primary camera,
Okay.
right? Or with any other Nikon camera that you use as well. What would you consider as the basic technique, the video technique that everyone should know?
Okay, if we talk about like a social media content creation video, basic video for your social media or for your product, Z8 with the gimbal stabilization to get a very nice stabilized shots. Plus,
What lens would you be using? Because that's going to be very heavy if it is on.
there
Is
is
it?
actually there is a lighter gimbals which can use for Z8, and also Z8 is very light camera. It's not that heavy, you know.
Correct, that's what we've heard as well.
It's very flexible, and also you need to choose your best lens. For me, I use always 24. It's giving me a little of wide shots plus micro lens. Also, it's the best 105. For me, it's the best lens with 85. And also, if you wanna like zoom in and zoom out, 24 by 70 is the best lens, of course.
Okay, that sounds great. Guys, you've heard it, 2470 on a gimbal. That's one of his go-to lenses on a Z8 as well. Okay, so paint me a picture, all right? What is life as a cinematographer for you? Like, tell us more about the gigs that you're going through, any new upcoming gigs that's coming up as well, any features that you'd like to talk about?
Okay, the best features actually which I want to share with the audience, Z8. Let's talk about Z8 more because the baby of Z9 for me it's my favorite camera. So the quality at the end of the quality of the video which you get from the Z8 or Z9, especially the image quality you can convert it. I mean you can do a lot of editing on it. You will not lose the quality, and you can do like some motion graphics. You can use it in After Effects. You will never lose the quality. And this technique, or sorry, this quality, it's difficult to find it in other cameras. Otherwise, you have to use like cinema cameras, which is like Alexa or I don't know. I don't want to talk about these things.
Yeah, 'cause well, brand loyalty right there again.
Exactly. Yeah. So we speak about Z9 or Z8. For me, Z8 or Z9, this is the only camera in the market can give you like a continuous shot up to 120. Imagine 3 hours of continuous shots. Imagine 3 hours of continuous shots. I mean, for your event, for your conference, for your meetings.
Exactly. So what's
Up
the most
to-
favorite event that you've used your Z8 for?
Mostly we
With
do like
that with that specific features of the continuous shots.
okay. Mostly we do it like for conference, for live streaming, for meetings. You know, this camera actually, the feature of this camera can give you, I mean, a long shot. As I told you, 3 hours. No camera can give you 2 hours. Otherwise, you have to use like other cinematic cameras, as I told you, which can have a HDD drive or whatever. But Z8 or Z9 can give you this long shot. You can shot like continuous for your full event with a high quality up to 8K. And imagine if we reduce the quality up to 2K, you can shoot up to 6 hours or 7 hours. Sorry, this tip, or sorry, this quality, or this this things in Nikon, no camera gave it to me before.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you carry lights when you go onto your shoots and gigs as well? Like, I want to understand what lighting equipment do you carry as well, because it's not very easy to carry the Z8, your gimbals, your tripods as well, set it up for a conference or an event. But I'd also like to understand, do you even bring lights on site?
Okay, so regarding the lights, if there is a ballroom, for example, it has enough lights. For me, Nikon can give me enough exposure to adjust later on Lightroom, whatever. Sorry, in montage softwares. But of course, we carry with us our lights, basic lights, just to add a little effect on the videos. But mostly we don't use lights because we utilize the ballrooms,
The natural ambient light.
ambience, yes.
Could you tell the audience as well what lighting equipment you bring, if not for basing it on the ambient lighting in the room itself, or if not for natural lighting, what is your favorite lighting equipment as well that you bring along? Basic, I would say, just to get them started.
Okay, let's talk about basic. The most important, if you want to use, like if you want to do a cinematography shots, let's talk about with the gimbal. With the gimbal, you need a torchlight. Any torchlight can give you up to 40 power. That's enough. Or if you want to do like a cinematography shots, like commercial videos, we need to carry some kind of lights. I will not talk about cinema lighting, but basic lights. I mean,
Yeah.
we can use basic lights up to 100 power. It's more than enough.
It's more than enough.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because most of the people that are watching this podcast would also like to know what are your go-to tips when shooting video? Like, I would like to know as well, how do I get started on video? What is your techniques, and letting them know how to get on board, what lights to bring, anything to keep them ready as they start out their first journey in video.
Okay. For me, actually, when I have started doing videography, I have never been confused to how to do this and how to do that. The most important is to capture the most important moments. I mean, the environment, the peoples, the decorations, and also with your gimbal or with your camera, you can get some nice tricks like how to flip the camera. You have to get some nice shots, depth of field as well. And
But
these
where did you
things-
start, actually? How did you start? What kind of genre did you start with in terms of videography?
Look, actually, I have some friends which they give me opportunity to do some commercial videos,
Great.
like perfume videos, products. We always like use like bring models and get a place where to shoot. We create some decorations, and of course we work like actions, you know, like we take different shots, then we add some environment music. Plus, the most important is which camera you're using because the quality is very important for social media.
Right.
Yeah.
So if not for the Z8, is there any other camera that would be good to start off with videography out there?
I always actually suggest for bloggers or social media content creators, Z30 is a very nice camera. It's a small camera and it's very good. Can give you very good and 4K quality.
Absolutely.
Yes, and also this Z5 also it's good. Z50, sorry, Z5, Z50 camera, Z6 and Z6 II up to Z8. But for basic cameras, of course you can start with Z6 too. I mean, or Z50 is very good as well.
Absolutely. And just to let you know, this podcast is actually recorded on a Z30 camera. So if you like this, let us know, okay, in terms of quality, sound, picture, the crispness, all right? Just let us know about that because that is a very good basic starter camera to start out with doing vlogging, events, I would say as well.
Yep.
And then anything to do with behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
Right? So let's talk about sound as well. How important is sound to you in video production?
For sound, actually, the most important is, see, in my event, like for example, if there is a conference, I use Zoom recorder.
Right. That's good. So
Yeah. Zoom recording can give you a very clear and sharp directly from the mixer because you need that separately. And one more thing, if you're gonna use Zoom recorder, you need a continuous camera, shooting camera to be compatible with the audio later. So for the montage, you will not get confused. And number two, of course, you need a camera with gimbal to get some crazy, I mean, nice shots, etc. So two cameras enough. So you can, it's easy for you to mix the audio and it will be easy for you for montage as well.
what about convenient compact travel microphones? So what about that? What are your favorites or your go-to microphones, especially when you do, I'd say, travel videography or you're on site at an event? What would you suggest in terms of lapels, microphones?
Okay. For me, actually, I use like if there is like speech or if you have like an interview, etc. So I always use the Ceremonic. Ceremonic is very good. It's very clear, very nice, and give you good quality. There's a lot of brands, by the way. There's a lot of brands.
But which one's your favorite? That's the one.
favorite is, of course, Ceremonic is good.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so let us know as well, what is usually inside your bag, your go-to bag? I want to know, how do you pack your bag? Because for me, it's ridiculously heavy to carry almost everything, right?
Okay.
But what is your go-to bag when you pack an equipment in terms of sound, in terms of light, in terms of your go-to camera, right?
Okay.
And in terms of, let's say, your camera that you take behind-the-scenes shots as well, if not for your phone.
If I want to talk personally about myself, as I told you, I have a production company, so I have a trucks full of equipment.
Great, great.
So whenever we have a shoot, I will send one of my trucks. Like if I have a lighting system, there is a truck of lighting system. If I have, cinematography equipment, and also, of course, we can't keep cameras inside the truck. But the basic equipment which my photographers and my videographers they have, or even me, sometimes if there is a small event, there should be at least 3 cameras on my bag, 3 tripods, because we don't know the clients what suddenly will ask you something to add it. So I need always spare cameras with me. But of course we use only 1 or 2 cameras in the events. You know, there is light system, there is sound system, some speed lights, Nikon speed lights, SP910 or SP5000, and also there is like extra batteries because you don't know, but you can stop, or your camera, your gear, anything can happen. You don't know, accidentally something can happen. So you need extra camera with you, plus the cinematic microphone. I have also on-hand microphone. That's very important for some speech, like for clients, etc.
Great. That sounds like 2 bags instead of 1, doesn't it? Or a big little suitcase as a starter kit to get you handed.
Exactly, yeah.
So I also want to know, what is your most favorite video you've done so far in terms of cinematography?
To be very honest with you, every day we have a challenge. And every day there is a new video. I mean, wherever we go for an event, we feel like better than the last event. Because we keep improving and we are learning from our mistakes. Number 2, we are competitive. And we always look at, for others what they are doing. So we have to do better than others. And recently, now the AI and everything, and people, they are starting using motion graphics in the videos. So we are mixing these things and we're trying to create the best video ever. As much as you are creative, and then you take different kind of shots, creative shots, and you have to be creative-minded person, trust me, your video will be the best. You should not stop thinking about how to, should always be develop your video quality.
But do you have a favorite that comes to the top of the mind, the best project you've done so far?
The best project I have done so far for Abu Dhabi, Masdar Abu Dhabi. I have done that for Enoch, for Adnoc as well. But if you watch, Saudi Arabia commercial on the TV, the official TV of Abu Dhabi, I have done a lot of commercial videos for perfumes, for some like shampoos, some, a lot of things.
A lot of products, I would say.
A lot of products.
Okay.
So I have done hundreds of videos for Saudi Arabia market. And now GCC in general, it's booming. So there is a lot of competitions in the market. You have to be creative.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of creative, that is a very good next question for you guys. Now that you do a lot of commercial cinematography and a lot of commercial work, right? How do you get back into that creative bone? Because sometimes people get stuck doing just commercial all the time. How do you get back into doing something more creative? Like, especially if you have a creative block, how does one get out of that rut and start doing something creative for themselves,
Yeah. Actually, the market is so competitive, and there is a lot of different clients. It's not like every day you're gonna do like a meeting for videography. Sometimes we do like a production videography. You can talk about a product. Sometimes we have like a cinematography. We do like a small short movie. So it's a different projects. You will never get boring.
Right.
So we have different projects, different. Sometimes we do like commercial TV commercial videos. Like we promote also products, content creations for social media, and we work with bloggers, and you have to take a very nice shots, very nice videos. We work with the real estate, and the market is very competitive.
I know it is, and everyone out there wants to become a videographer as well. So to those who are aspiring videographers out there, what would you say, or what would you advise rather, on how to get started with videography? What is your advice out there, like tips and tricks, how to get started in videography?
Okay,
What would
for
you
me,
say?
I actually advise all the new videographers. Number 1, you should understand which gear you're gonna use, and then you have to learn about it. You have to learn the standard settings or the basic setting of the camera, ISO, the apertures and everything, and when you're gonna use a high aperture, and then when you're gonna use the high ISO, and what's the maximum ISO you're gonna use. So you have to learn this basic settings. Then you will learn the add-on equipment for your camera, like light, sound, and everything. And number two, it's which you have to start like let's say with a basic, even with a bottle of water. Try to take a different side shots of it, and try to you have to do some motions with the camera, and you should learn from a small things, and then try to grow slowly, you know. Otherwise, if you go to a project and then you don't know anything, you're gonna be
Exactly.
stuck. So you should understand your camera, and then you should get the basic equipment like lights, system, lights, a torch light or whatever, and the sound, as well which software you're gonna use for the montage. For me, recently I purchased, like for example, the slider. Not manual; it's electronic slide
Yeah.
digital. It gives me a lot of nice videos, like in terms of time lapse, etc.
Great.
We are keeping improving, you know.
Is this a cost-efficient slider are we talking about, or we still have to invest a little bit of more money for it?
You have to invest a little
Okay.
bit. You have to invest, but
Gear
it's an
isn't.
add-on for your videos, you know.
Yeah. Okay. True. True.
You know, it's this domain. Videography. It's very huge. You know, you should keep always learning and improving. Honestly, I love photography and videography. Every day I have to do something. I can't, In my car now I have
You have your full kit
minimum
right
my
there. Yeah.
full equipment. Can call me anytime. I can go and start shooting. I love videography. I love photography.
Right now, you're gonna probably whip up your Z8 from behind right now if I knew better.
It is actually in my bag, you know.
It's right there. All right.
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned your program that you use for your montages,
Yeah.
what programs do you use to edit then?
Look, actually, I am let's say Adobe certified, okay,
Okay.
and I'm using Adobe since 22 years. But recently, I moved to DaVinci
Okay, for color grading? Or
Exactly.
Okay.
for color grading, and then the ProRes of the quality of video. It's very good.
Exactly.
It's very flexible, and then the good things in DaVinci, you don't need to use, like for example, montage plus motion graphics. This software merge everything, and the color grading of DaVinci is the best.
Great, great, great. So my last question for this episode is I want to ask you, what are the 3 topmost Nikon products that you would suggest for someone just investing into videography right now?
Okay, look, I will talk about my personally about me. As I told you in my bag, like for example, I have Z30. So when I'm using Z30, whenever I go, like any event, conference, exhibition, whatever, I have this camera in my hand. Because this camera, it will give you the best quality. Not let's say, okay, very good quality, by the way, 4K, and it's enough. It's very light. You can carry it in a small pocket. If I have like a cinematography shooting, I'm using Z9 or Z8
Oh, Z8 or Z9, okay.
with a set of lenses, which will facilitate for me the shooting and the different, you know. So I'm using zoom lens, portrait lens, etc. A flash is very important
Okay.
because anytime you need to take a shot, a photo for someone or a place, so you need a flash in your bag. Plus, the most important for me now, it's the lighting. Continuous lighting I'm talking about, not the speed light. So I have a torch in my bag, which is very important whenever I have to shoot something for me, or I do blogging or whatever. So this torchlight is very important to give you a very nice, and to help your camera get enough light to your sensor.
Great. So you've heard that firsthand, by the way, that his top 3 Nikon gears that he would like to bring is a Nikon Z30, a Nikon Z8 and 9, okay, for professional cinematography videos, and then the flashes. Let's not forget the flashes and good lighting, right? Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining today's episode, Ashraf.
Thank you.
All right, I hope everyone in the audience or whoever's watching this podcast has picked up a trick or a technique or 2 from Ashraf here Feel free to rewatch this podcast and
you.
this episode if in case you would like to learn a lot more about him, right? And how can we find you, by the way, on Instagram, or where are you most
Okay, so you can
available
find me in the Instagram below, and I am free actually to answer any question. Of course, we are available in Dubai, so if anyone has any question, please feel free to call us or to contact us. We can help you.
What's your handle on Instagram, if I may ask?
Sorry?
Your social handle on Instagram,
It's,
so people can find you.
Karim Ashraf DXB.
At DXB. All right, great, guys.
Thank
So
you.
you've heard it first here on our very first episodes of today. Thank you very much,
Thank you so
Ashraf.
much. Thank you. Thank you.